tell me, chat, what pressing fish questions are on your mind? What have you been thinking about lately in regards to fish that you want an answer on? Or you know what, maybe not even in regards to fish. What questions do you have about life? Mostly about fish, but you know, if you have some life questions too, we could talk about those. Found some gilt darters on the St. Francis River in Missouri. That's cool. Gilt darters are really cool. I still don't have one. They get very pretty. Is the megalodon still alive? Probably not, but you can't be 100% sure. Making videos about it being alive is dumb though. Salamanders, how do I catch them? Well, if you're trying to catch aquatic salamanders, like stream salamanders, you can usually find them under rocks or in root wads with a dip net. If you're trying to get on land salamanders, your best bet for migratory salamanders is rainy, early spring and late fall nights, warm, rainy nights. Otherwise, you'll just want to flip logs in wetland areas. How do fish in the mountains get there? It's a good question. Probably ancestrally, they slowly moved up the streams and now they sort of stay in those like breeding pools higher up in the mountains. Trout can come up and down as they please, but like shiners probably at one point in the past had to slowly move like from pool to pool, and eventually a couple individuals would make the jump to the next pool and then the next generation and so forth as they colonized areas as icebergs retreated, I imagine. I doubt they were in the streams as the streams shifted. I'm probably explored it over time. What is a fish? Watch my ichthyology lesson. How do eels reproduce? Probably the same way every other fish reproduces. There's no reason to think they do anything particularly unique. Slippery dick edible? I don't know, but I think people eat wrasse. Might be wrong. Going to try dip netting tomorrow. Any tips? I have a video about dip netting techniques if you want to learn that. Otherwise, I mean, just make sure you're in the right place for what you're looking for and you're good. Does your shiny dome get cold in the winter? I don't know. I've only been bald like 2 months, so it's been warm. Do I need a permit to own a mantis shrimp? That is entirely dependent on the laws wherever you live. Found some orange newts in Oregon. Should I lick them? Probably not. They have permeable skin, so more so for their health than yours. You probably shouldn't touch amphibians in general. Do you think we'll be able to take the bioluminescent genetic code and stick it in a cat? I want an RGB cat. That's one of those things where like, yeah, we probably could do that. Like if all the funding that we put into like cancer research went to making an RGB cat, we probably could make an RGB cat. But should we? Should we make an RGB cat? Are fish ever depressed? Absolutely. Depending on your definition of depressed. But if you consider like lethargy, not eating, not socializing, barely moving, having no motivation to do anything as depression, then yeah, absolutely. Technically speaking, are we fish? Yes, absolutely. Technically speaking, taxonomically, where we start and stop calling things fishes is completely arbitrary. We just made it up. We said, what are those things called? Lancelets. We said lancelets are not fish, but everything after a lancelet is a fish. And then the moment that it went on land, it stopped being a fish for the most part. But then even in the ocean, some stuff, it's, you know, it's arbitrary. We just decided what is a fish and what isn't. How do I find Alexandrite? I don't know, probably Google geological surveys. Why flying fish fly if it's just feeding the birds? I doubt flying fish get got by too many birds. They're pretty fast if you've ever seen one. I would imagine they're pretty evasive, and that's probably why. It's more so like a trade-off. Like they're pretty well adapted to survive from predators below. So, you know, if those fish that they come from were having issues with predators getting them from below, then that adaptation would help them massively. They do have to worry about more so air predators now, but if they're that fast, I mean, who knows? Why is there so little information on the karst cavefish despite it being the most common one? It's still a pretty rare cavefish or it's pretty rare fish in general overall. Cavefish in general are just not super well studied. It's more so like the government knows they have to protect them, and so they do protect them, but like they don't even do much studying unless someone decides they want to do something. Otherwise, they're just trying to keep them safe, I guess. Like what is Alabama cavefish, the one that's like highly protected in that keyhole cave. It's in like one cave system, and the government like guards it at gunpoint, but like no one's really studying the fish, so it's like we don't really know anything about them. We've just got a pool of like 60 fish, and we know that's all the individuals in the world, and we've got some guys with guns guarding them. Are you ever going to make more videos for the ichthyology courses? I'm not opposed to it. I certainly have plenty of more depth that I could add to ichthyology and teach more ichthyological concepts. But that series did really, really poorly, and it takes a lot of effort and research for me to put those together and then present them and upload them. So it doesn't often feel worth it for me to do something like that, where it's like the payoff is so backwards, you know? It's like I'm making like $5 on the video and it takes hours of work, which, you know, it's not why I don't make them for money, but it feels a little dumb when I could be using that in that like, you know, 3 hours, for example, of time, and that I make $5. I could make like 5 different videos and end up making a bunch of money, and it's just more sustainable with my time. I don't know what my favorite reptile is. Biggest fish you could fight? I feel like I've been asked this before. I think I could take an arapaima. Where do open water fish take naps? You mean like pelagic, like constant swimmers? My guess would be, I don't actually know off the top of my head. My guess would be that they don't really take still naps. They more so rest parts of their brain while still keeping active. Easiest way to find catfish in rivers? Catfish tend to be on the bottom, under stuff. Logs, rocks, that kind of thing. If you live in the US and you're in an area with mad toms, just lifting rocks will get you a lot of those. Should I commit tax evasion? Probably not. Now, if you had never said it in a Twitch chat, then maybe. But now you're on record as asking about tax evasion, so the IRS will find you. There has already been a bioluminescent cat. Of course there has. There was a megalodon question in my biology exam. Wait, really? Favorite prehistoric fish? Xenospida, some Xenospida. What fish deserves more recognition? So many. So many. I do a fish of the day at work where I have a whiteboard and I draw a random fish every day. If you don't know, there's FishBase, which is like a website that has all the information on living fishes. It has like every species and everything known about them that like from credible sources. And there's a random button where you just get brought to a random fish. And it is crazy sometimes to do this, to go to FishBase, random species, and you just get to see all the crazy stuff that exists in the world. Like, look at this. This is a Japanese/Russian species of lump sucker, Cycloteris bergi. Isn't that crazy? I just hit random species again. Oh, speckled goby, a Southeast Asian goby species. Like, cool. You know, it's pretty cool. View this fish at depth. What does that mean? What? What is the point of this page? You can scroll down and it just makes it darker. This is what the fish would look like at 100 meters underwater. Thank you, FishBase. Very cool. I need it. Okay. That's really funny, actually. Okay. Anyways, yeah, it's fun to go to FishBase and just randomly click on the random fish button and see all the crazy stuff that exists in the world. There are tons of fish that I've never even heard of. A lot of my fish of the days, I've never even heard them before it happens. On what level do animals understand me talking to them? Depends on their level of intelligence. I would say with mammals, probably there's an understanding of tone at the very least. And more intelligent animals like dogs and cats might be able to understand beyond just basic tone. If I was 1 pound and I ate 99 pounds of fish, would I be a fish? Is this just the spaceship paradox, where you slowly replace every part in a spaceship with parts from a different spaceship? Slowly, not all at once. Like over the course of years. And then at the end, is it the same spaceship or is it the different spaceship when every part's been replaced? Not to brag, but I've been sucked by a lump sucker. I have not. I haven't gone far enough north for them. They're actually not that uncommon up in like Massachusetts and Maine. But I haven't really gone ocean fishing up in there. I want to because I want to see a radiated shanty. Shanty are so cool. What, in your opinion... Dude, Ghost Boy, you're so funny. Ghost Boy trying to prompt me so that he has a good title and thumbnail for this video. He's like, oh god, AVNJ hasn't answered a question that's going to be good enough clickbait yet. Let me ask him something to prompt him. The biggest catastrophe fish related in history. I mean, the lack of regulations on overfishing is a boring answer, but is absolutely true. Where for hundreds of years, we just caught as many of each fish as we wanted and could, and didn't once think about the fact that, like, hey, maybe there won't be enough of them anymore. Like, maybe they'll run out. It was like on land, we understood that, like, when you farm things or you take them from the wild, that depletes the resource. But for some reason, humans lacked object permanence as long as the objects were under the water. Like, the moment the fish went under the water, there was just an infinite supply of them down there, and we didn't really have to worry about it. It's a boring answer. Sorry, but it's true. Where do you recommend studying ichthyology? If by where do you mean, like, university, or do you mean, like, location for a job? University? You should not go to a university for ichthyology. Ichthyology is a very niche study. You should go to university for marine sciences or ecology or environmental science or biology or something like that, while having a, mental focus on ichthyology. And as far as universities go, you should go to whichever university is big, has a lot of opportunities, and you can save money at. Name brand universities are generally not worth it, especially if you're trying to study something like biology. I mean, like, if you're trying to study law, like, obviously going to Harvard Law is going to be an improvement on general law schools. But, like, for biology, going to Princeton or going to even a nice school is not generally worth it. You're going to have more opportunities, more labs. You're going to meet more people, make more connections. There's going to be more work opportunities in the area if you just, like, go to your state school. Plus, you're going to save money. And you can spend the extra time focusing on actually learning the thing that you want to learn, because no college is going to have a realistic ichthyology degree. Your undergrad, I've heard, just does not matter. Get the cheapest one and get your degree. Generally speaking, that's true. I will say the undergraduate degree does not matter. How you get the degree does not matter, so don't waste a bunch of money on it. What does matter is experience and connections. And that is especially true in biology and environmental sciences, where, like, most people get their jobs either by knowing someone or because they're ahead of the curve. Like, everyone I know, I studied ecology, and everyone I know who got a job coming straight out of school for ecology either knew someone and got a job at a place with someone they knew, or had done, like, a bunch of lab work at school and thus was able to transfer that straight into a job. Because they had similar qualifications. So that's the stuff that's important. So if you go to, like, tiny unknown private school in the middle of nowhere and it's expensive, it's like you spend a ton of money, you're getting a less specialized education, you're getting less connections, you're getting less opportunities, Not to say that it's not for some people, but if your goal with college is to make yourself job ready, you should go to a place that has really just the most people doing things related to what you want to do. I mean, that's just how you're gonna have the most opportunities. My freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year of college, I worked at a different lab or section of the university all 4 years. All 4 were related to fish, and all 4 were completely different labs in different sections of the school under different programs, because I went to a giant school and there were enough opportunities for me to do that. And so I came out of college with 4 years of diverse lab experience. I had a job lined up before I even finished college. It's like that's what sets you up. Not to mention connections where, like, I'm looking into doing my master's now and the amount of professors that I've worked with. I wanted to stream and make a ton of content today, but I'm going to be honest with you, chat. We're running dry over here. I've got a lot of content ideas, but each one takes a lot of effort and time, and half of them aren't even, like, good to title. So, like, the videos are going to do shit, and I'm going to put hours of work into them, and that sucks. So I don't know what to do. And the slop is just slop. I've caught striped shiner on decent-sized lures before. Don't know if it's necessarily predatory, but they were hooked in the mouth. Got any theories? I mean, luxurious species just have big mouths and tend to be aggressive. Gonna react to the Naked Bass Pro Shops guy for Fish in the News. Bro, I was scrolling through the ideas channel on my Discord today. I was like, I wonder what good ideas people have sent me for videos. And it was just shit shit, shit. Naked guy in a Bass Pro Shops pond, shit, shit, shit. And I'm like, oh my god. You should play more games. Those videos seem to do well. That is absolutely not true. Other than Subnautica, my gaming videos are my worst performing videos by far. That's not true. The Ichthyology series is worse, but second is gaming. Naked Bass Pro Shop guys, how you get people like me to watch your videos? Good golly. God, did you guys see the white people phrases tier list? This is what we need a video. All right. We'll go in order and we'll organize them. Why I oughta is... It's funny. I don't know if that's an A. I don't know if that's an S. I'll go why I oughta is an A. You're on thin ice, pal. I don't really care about that. We'll put it down here. Hey, wise guy. I don't care. Hold your horses? No. Newsflash, buddy. That one's funny. Whelp is kind of lame. Let's skedaddle is lame. Get a load of this guy is really funny. You betcha is awful. Yellow? I like yellow. Hope you're hungry for a knuckle sandwich. That one's just doing too much. Living the dream. Bro, Elias would say that. That's not a white people phrase. For crying out loud. Okay. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy's great. Cat got your tongue. Who cares? Okay. That's rich coming from you. Nah, that's further down. No shit, Sherlock is S tier. You're barking up the wrong tree. That belongs in A. Put a cork in it. That's a C. Cup of Joe. Who cares? Ope is a banger. I like Ope. I learned about Ope when I went to the Midwest for the first time, and I've said it since then nonstop. For Pete's sake, who's Pete? Who cares? Now let's do a silly one? The fuck is now let's do a silly one? Foreign name, I'm gonna butcher this. God, this is the thing that maybe makes me cringe the most nowadays. Oh my god, we had a new intern start at my job, and she has a non-traditional American name, and every one of my white coworkers is like, oh, I'm so sorry if I, oh, what's your name? Oh, I'm so sorry if I say it wrong. Is it? Oh my god. Get with the program is good. Go take a long walk off a short pier. My grandfather used to say that's a banger. Look what the cat dragged in. You're on thin ice. I don't care. Hey, wise guy. I don't care. Hold your horses is fine. Yellow's fine. Whelp is fine. Let's skedaddle, you betcha. Living the dream. Crying out loud. Cat out your tongue. What ones haven't I reviewed yet? Is that all of them? All right, chat. This is my white people phrases tier list. In S, we have newsflash, buddy. Okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Whoopsie daisy. Get a load of this guy. No shit, Sherlock. And then foreign name, I'm gonna butcher this. Me and my BF sling these all around daily. They are really funny to say. Go take a long walk off a short pier is just fire. That's like that image of the person writing and the pen is on fire. Go take a long walk off a short pier. Like they were cooking. It's when you take a group photo. Oh, let's do a silly one. I see. Let's do a silly one now. Oh, like when you're taking a group photo. Wow. Ghost Boy, you're much less white than me. Why did you know that? I have white friends. Fair enough. That was a long question and answer session where I mostly did a white people tier list. Whoa!